Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today we are back for another week of The Walking Dead. This is episode 9. Wait, hold on. Wait, we gotta... Nope. What is going on? Alright. Jeez. I gotta double check those settings next time I play with that. But this is Season 9. And then I got my tablet, my notepad on the computer, and it is literally just typing in random shit that I don't want to be typing. Alright, so this is the Walking Dead review plus after show for Season 9, Episode 11, called Bounty. If you're new here, we do a first impression review, just like our old-fashioned review. About 10-15 minutes, depending what is in the episode. The first 10 or 15 minutes, and then we will maybe do a little bit of updates after that, and then go into the live fan feedback portion of the after show. So if there's anything at all you want to discuss, I'll be putting the live fan feedback comments up on the screen, and you guys can see whatever you want to say. And as a matter of fact, I could probably post the, I forgot we were doing the comments on the screen ever since YouTube. Once in a while it gets glitchy. You should be able to do it yourself. You go down below and you click live chat. They change where it's at. It used to be somewhere different, but now it's right near the share button. And you know, put the video in a different playlist. It's up in that option. I get a lot of questions about it every week, but let me make sure you guys can hear me good, see me good, our connection is straight, and then we'll be jumping straight into the review. I got a lot to say. The overall review, I already saw someone say boring episode. Let me pop out the chat. You know what? Here's the thing I was thinking about in this episode. I thought, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of hype. I guess people who saw it early, I know one in particular hyped it up like this is the coming of Christ, best episode since Rick died or something like that. And I got really excited because last week I thought it was just going to be a little bit of filler with dealing with the trade-off and then the Kingdom's run. And my prediction was pretty on point, just simply running for something that has to do with the fair. However, when I heard it was going to be like that episode, that oh my god, I got so excited, and it just didn't live up to that expectation. However, I still don't hate it. Me personally, I don't think it's a terrible episode. I wouldn't say it's boring. There was only one filler moment where Henry took Lydia and they tried that little mini runaway thing. I really think that could have been, and I get what they were going for. I feel like that moment really gave birth to Enid's scene, and what her scene is bringing up Carl again. Carl was the one who left her the letter, and Angela Kang, there was an interview where she talks about that scene, and it was much bigger. So I truly feel like Henry running away was essentially just a callback to Henry in that, or I'm sorry, Carl in that moment, and they ended up trimming some of it for time anyhow. So I really feel like that little moment could be the filler moment for me personally that I would trim, but I still had fun with the overall. Nope, that is not the webcam. I still had fun with the overall episode. Yeah, YouTube, can we do it? Yeah, there we go. Let me slide that over. There's a spoiler in the background. Comic book fans probably already saw that. Somebody gave me a painting that has a Season 11 or Season 9 spoiler in it. All right, there we go. We got some comments on the screen so you guys can see. I'm going to hold off on Super Chats until I get done with the review. So let's kick this off. Tara took the supplies. So the beginning of the episode kicked it off with a flashback. I like seeing Jesus again. We got Tara looking for supplies, which kind of hints at the beef between her and Michonne. Essentially, she was, from what it sounds like, she was good with Michonne, and the beef doesn't seem like it's as big as we really thought at first. Yeah, we're gonna get to the crying baby. Bro, I was like, oh shit, Alpha, bitch, please. I mean, what you want from me, you know? I'm only the leader. I mean, shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you gotta do. But, so there's another thing I want to bring up with the baby, too. There's so much that had a lot of, damn, we'll get to it. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I really thought Tara and Michonne's beef was big and explosive and yada, yada, yada. It seems like it was essentially after what happened with the scars, whatever that was, Michonne was not willing to give enough supplies to the hilltop. And Tara was just like, all right, fuck it. And she stole some, you know what I'm saying? So that was really the beef. And it was kind of just Tara being like, yeah, what, bitch? And then Michonne is like, I know what you did. I thought it was something a little more explosive. A lot of people thought it was because Michonne killed Oceanside and we could clear the air. It officially has nothing to do with Michonne killing Oceanside. Because if she did, we would have heard about it now, or else it won't make sense later on down the line. Anyway, even though they did mention Oceanside previously, which means it's not likely that they were killed. Plus, Negan, Oceanside, it doesn't really make sense. It kind of conflicts. It's a little hypocritical. Anyway, the charter, which mirrors a United States Constitution, I like that. I like how it look. Because they're in America, because they're Americans, even, you know, if they weren't all born here, people come to America, they learn about our history, our culture, our laws, how our laws work, how our laws came from the Founding Fathers, and even before then, you kind of learn the history and the flow of how that's all brought together. So it makes sense that they would kind of look back at our past to create the charter. And I like how it looks like the Constitution where everyone's signing at the bottom. I like that draft, and I hope Ezekiel is able to put it on the wall after everyone puts their signatures. I do firmly believe that's going to come back around, especially when we get to the fair. I think we're going to have a positive moment where the communities do come together, and it has something to do with the Whispers. I mean, the Whispers, they might be the reason our communities come together to sign that charter. That could be something for after the Whisper ordeal. Anyway, Alpha shows up and she says, I show you my face because I mean you no harm. We all know it's because that mask was hot as shit. Yeah, I reused that joke from Twitter. But that, for comic book fans, that was a moment in the comic book that Alpha says right out of the gate. And I'm glad they did it the way they did it, having the ending and then bringing in that moment in this episode. One thing I did... Oh, I got one flaw. I got something I didn't like. And it took me a little bit to notice it. Kelly, her name is Kelly, right? Kelly's hairstyle is stupid as fuck. Now let me add some context to that. The hairstyle is fine, but for the apocalypse, who the fuck is styling her hair? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I have a hard enough time going down the street at like a men's sports clips, and I'm just like faded up, trim, done. They fucked that up. I look like I fell in front of a lawnmower. Coincidentally, I just happen to be lazy wearing a hat today. No, I didn't get my hair cut recently. I'm just saying, normally I used to have the old 20s hairstyle where you buzz the sides, you have the hair long and you slick it back and shit like that. And it still takes me a long time to find a barber and this, that. I used to go to certain neighborhoods just to find the right barber to do a fade and lariat the hair, because there's so many people who cut hair that absolutely suck. And if you're not paying money out the ass, if you're not paying $30 or more for a haircut, I don't know where you're going, but I find so many people who just screw it up. So yeah, right off the top of my head, I'm thinking, who in the hell cut her hair? Because they're supposed to be, and I know I'm a little late to this rant, but give it to me. It's my only complaint this episode. And the other previous episodes, I'm retconning my complaint. Who the hell cut her hair? Because they were on the move in their little trailer. I'm sorry, I gotta put it out there. Fucking dumb. Anyhow, watch, they brought that up before, and it was like Connie who cuts her hair. Anyway, Alpha. One thing I love that can be a little misinterpreted with the actress and how the actress does the performance is how emotionless she is. I love that, and it's purposeful, and you could see it in the acting, how she's kind of like, wait, what was the moment? There's this real subtle moment where she's like, there will be no conflict, and then she kind of looks down, she's like, no, yep, okay, but if you don't do this, there will be conflict. You know what I'm saying? I love that, how it's right and to the point, and it's cold. She's cold as shit. And it's not just like an actress that's bored with it. It's those little subtle telltale moments where it's like, oh my God, she's killing it. I know some people don't like the accent. I'm 100% on board. I like the actor. The casting was on point. What else? The accent, I don't give a shit. It looks good. Her performance, I'm there. I am officially loving it. I think it's great. The Walking Dead does do a good job with casting for the most part. I think usually they are on point with it. Ezekiel, one moment had me laugh, and I love a few of the little comedy moments where he said, scared? No. And he laughed it off with Jerry, and then, how am I forgetting her name? You guys know, Carol. The fair item. This is something that I really loved, and I can see some people rolling their eyes and be like, oh, here we go. But I've always loved entertainment ever since I was a kid. And if I was in their shoes and someone said, listen, we're going to go and we're going to get projectors so kids who have never seen a movie can watch a movie, I'd be the first one in line, because I understand the amount of joy you can get from just sitting back after, stressful hard day's work, or just, having a little bit of a rough life, and then finding something like going to the movie theater and just enjoying that so much, as if that's your meditation. You know what I'm saying? That's your yoga, so to speak. So,
Dad,
what?
I just realized I need to tell you this, because the teacher's like, you need to get here. So I can't be late at all.
You're not
I
gonna.
need to get
I know. I already talked to your
yeah.
teacher. I already talked to her. Get sleeping right now. Okay. You don't want to be late. Go sleeping right this second before I put you in a chokehold.
Oh my God.
You know what? I think Alpha, she has a better way to do it. Go to bed. Anyhow, she's at something for school. Got to go early tomorrow. She's just remembered. Anyway, so movie nights and all that, and what it does for the community. Keep in mind, this is something that, living back in the Wild West, even in American history, people were having festivals and fairs and nights out for singing and dancing, and people love that. It brings people together. It's fun and it's enjoyable, especially when you're living in that type of world where so much has crumbled down. I'm 100% on board for a mission where it's simply for enjoyment or entertainment. I think a lot of times that can be written off as kind of stupid or silly. I'm 100% on board with that. Henry, with his selfish shit, I did already talk about how I did see that as filler when they had to hunt him down. I was like, could we just skip all this? It was neat hearing about Carl, but in all reality, I could do without that moment in the episode. The field, where we got the Whisperer with the baby. Now, this shows how they deal with certain situations. There is one little nitpick. If I could just add one little nitpick, is we saw the girl with the baby, and I was thinking just a minute before they played it out, I was thinking, yo, it would be cool as hell if the Whisperer's all like, I got this. This is what I do. And the baby starts fussing, and the Whisperer's like, yeah, I got this. Maybe getting the baby to stop fussing, and the baby starts to stop fussing, but then, and the Whisperer, and flesh out that moment a little bit, and then slowly, more slowly than in the show, start to have the Whisperer being like, oh God, this isn't working. Like, this is an ultimate fail. This never happens before. I think getting rid of the Henry moment and adding 2 minutes onto that Whisperer and baby scene, I would have been fine with that, But I did like that, and it explains in the trailer what we saw with Connie, which, by the way, I gotta say, don't let me forget. I probably won't forget, but I am Team Connie. Perfect woman, doesn't talk back. What can I say? There's just something about her charisma, and like I said, the woman hasn't said a word. And her charisma, I know why. You can leave your jokes aside, but I want more of Connie. And then when she was teaming up with Daryl, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but for some reason I was just like, yes, do that. So we got the field with Connie and the walkers. My only other complaint, I was enjoying myself throughout this episode, but I did have a couple complaints. Haircut, okay. But when they came out to rescue Connie, that was my one complaint where I thought, okay, you're utilizing breaks in the storytelling to get around having to explain how the fuck did they do that. Are we to assume they snuck out, went all the way around, and then snuck in, got her, and then brought him all the way around? See, those scenes, I don't know. I just kind of, I want to know how. Even if it was just a moment where we saw some Whisperers looking this way, and you can see them sneaking from cornfield to woods, and then, going around the side of the hilltop. that felt jarring. And again, get rid of the damn what's his face running off with the girl. Add a little more with the baby and the whisperer scene to flesh that out, make it a little slower, more tension there, and then give us another scene of them making it back into the hilltop. Again, for me, I thought that would have flowed a little bit better. Still enjoying the episode a lot though. So Alpha with the bitch slap, the almighty bitch slap. There's also a sign I want to point to. When they were leaving after their run with the Kingdom group, there was a street sign on the back of it. There was a upside down V with a T on top of it, or a line just on top of it, like a table and V legs. We saw that image already. There's a promo out there. When we go into the fan feedback portion, I'll try to look in my file if I have it. There's a picture of Carol. If anyone could find it, let me know, or send it to me on Facebook or something. I'll try to pull it up as we're chit-chatting. But there's a picture of Carol looking at a piece of paper, and sure enough, that symbol is on there. I know because I specifically put that picture aside in a folder so I can go back and figure out what that symbol is from, because I don't remember ever seeing it before on The Walking Dead. And now we're getting the first sign of that symbol. And it's either the Commonwealth, which is a stretch, I know, or it's the Whispers. It's simply the Whispers. That could be the really early beginning of the Commonwealth setting up something, some type of perimeter or going out far. I don't know, but it has something to do with either the Commonwealth or the Whispers. I doubt they would be introducing a different group or community or something, unless that ties into Michonne's storyline, that upside down V with the T. Again, leave your theories down below, but I think it's either one of the three. I'm leaning more towards the Whispers. And don't you dare say Heath. Everyone is bringing up Heath theories, and they already confirmed Heath was taken by the same people who took Rick. Jadis traded Heath. I know we didn't cover that in detail on this channel. Maybe we will for those who missed it, but yeah, that's already confirmed and out there. We got Ezekiel saying maybe we're done losing for a while. Boy, is he going to eat those words. I bet you any money, either literally or the people around him. Wait, Alexandria then split, question mark? I don't know what I was writing there. Probably then split. Yeah, I don't know what I wrote there. One thing I did enjoy especially, and this is what I was commenting on in the beginning of this review, is how the whole episode brings the story together fully and completely. And you have the moment where Connie rescues the baby. You have that little quick moment where they're running in the cornfield and you actually see Earl and Tammy, like they actually came out and helped. And then in the end, now keep in mind, we already set up a while ago with Earl and Tammy's son dying. Early on in the beginning, that kicked off the Gregory stuff and yada, yada, yada. But now we have the moment where they're playing the song. You have a lot of loved ones happy that something bad happened and no one died except for Jesus. We were able to get everyone back after Jesus died. We were able to get everyone back. Enid with her man and yada, yada, yada. And then you show Earl and Tammy Rose with the newborn baby, with the music and everything around. I thought that was a really nice touch. I still think Tammy is on my list. I did a death prediction list. I still think she's on a list. As a matter of fact, we saw Jerry with the kid, Enid with her man. I really think they're setting up everyone in their happy moment before we get them in their sad moment. I bet you any money, you know the scenes we're seeing now with everyone and happy and yada, yada, yada? I bet you any money we're going to get the absolute reverse at the end of the season. Around episode 15, I think they're saying 15-ish is when we're getting the big moment. I bet you any money we're going to see the reverse. Instead of everyone happy, it's going to be everyone devastated. Connie and Daryl leave. That's the one thing, I'll just repeat it quick because I went ahead of myself before and said I'd like it. Again, I don't know what it is, but the having a deaf survivor definitely adds a different variety to it. You could definitely do more. You can showcase it differently. But there's also a charm to the actor and her performance and what she does. I'm really digging Connie, and I think it's absolutely important, since we're losing people, to add newcomers that we can grow attached to. yo, in season 1, we were attached to our group. And then in season 2, we got new members like Herschel and Maggie and this and this and this. And I didn't love Herschel in season 2. Hell no. He was frustrating me. Until the end, a little bit started chipping away at my enjoyment for Herschel. And then season 3 comes along, season 4 comes along, and I'm like, Herschel the man, you know what I'm saying? It was really season 3 that brought Herschel around. Season 4 was the nail in the coffin, both in Herschel is the fucking man and Herschel's dead. That was the nail in his coffin. So we need characters like Connie. We need characters like Magna to step up. I would say Luke, but he's a white male. Plus, I think he's going to die. Alden, same thing. Both. And then we need other characters to step up that aren't our, series 2 and series 3 characters, so that way we can recycle the characters that are dying, because we can't have this show and no one die. It's impossible. It won't work and the show will fail. So I thought it was good. The only note I'm missing here is Alexandria probably then split. I don't know what that is. Done losing for a while. Alexandria probably then split. Huh. Oh, yeah, that's right. Henry mentioned something about what Daryl did for Alexandria, and Daryl was like, oh, you don't know half of it. I think that's what I wrote down by that. Anyhow, now is the time where we go into the fan feedback portion. My review is done. That's the end of my first impression review. I thought it was a solid episode. I didn't think it was, the absolute greatest episode in the history of mankind, because I know that was going around for a little bit. Not even close, but it was absolutely a solid episode, and I think it's a great addition into season 3. Oh my God, we're not doing the Telltale series anymore. It was a great addition into season 9 of the show to build up what's going on with this new group, these new villains. Keep in mind, we can't just do, oh, I'm here for my daughter, and then we do the trade, and then that's it. We move it along. Every time we see the Whispers, we need to learn a little bit more with them. So that was, I think, important to see some of how it goes down. And there will be fallout from this, because keep in mind, Lydia said, my mom broke her rules. There's definitely going to be interesting fallout, and this is something I predicted way before we got any hints, and that's because it wasn't that big in the comic, but we got a tiny peek. So this is something that I feel like they're going to flesh out in the show. We're going to have someone challenge Alpha. Either the coming episode or the coming 2 or 3 episodes, somebody will step up to Alpha because she broke the rules. She's adjusting the rules a little bit, and there might be that little hint of weakness in her attachment with her daughter. And then I think we'll get an interesting reminder of why she is the Alpha, and I think that is vital, Anyway, Beta looks fan-fucking-tastic. Next week, we get Ryan Hurst. I'm so excited for Ryan Hurst. I loved him in Sons of Anarchy. He is back playing Beta on The Walking Dead. I cannot wait. Opie was my all-time favorite character. I love Jax, but I'm sorry. Opie was my favorite in Sons of Anarchy, hands down. I mean, shit. If you haven't watched Sons of Anarchy yet, go watch it. Opie's not, massive in season 1. He kind of sneaks in there, but once he's in there, oh man, he's one of my favorites. Okay, let's end the review here. Solid episode, not the greatest. If I did a 1 out of 10 scale, I'm gonna have to hit it with an 8, a wobbly 8. And keep in mind, I'm harsh with the rate. Nothing's a 10. Nothing's ever a 10. So an 8, I feel like, is pretty solid with this. Again, I don't like 1 to 10 scales, though, because it gets a little tricky. As far as acting and performances, nothing really stood out as terrible. I'm still waiting for the actor who plays Henry to man the fuck up and bring like a home run performance. I still feel like his performances are stiff. I don't know if it's nerves or something. There is potential under there. Again, I'm trying the best I can to read it on screen. It's easier to read people in person, but there's something that's stiff there. Anyway, we are going to dive into the fan feedback from you guys. So if you want to talk to me, or if you want your message read, or get a chance for your message to be read, make sure you're adding Make a Path Presents. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing, the super chats. Jesse04 with a $15 super chat. Haven't seen the episode yet. Just wanted to stop by real quick and contribute to the channel. Love you, Ronnie. Thank you very much, Jesse, for the dono to the channel. Helping to keep this going. Tarantula Colon with a $2 dono. Beta sounds creepy AF. Hell yeah. Yo, I can't wait for Beta. You know he's going to whoop little Henry's ass. I'm getting my popcorn ready. I'm just going to be sitting there watching Henry get his ass handed to him by Beta. I can't fucking wait. He's going to get his ass beat by a Beta. Oh, I can't wait, yo. Man. Richard, I do not like how Fat Alpha is so far into the zombie apocalypse with such a lean diet. Worms, game meat, not like how they're big can be. She does have a little bit of meat on her. There's no way to deny that. She's got a little bit of a belly. So, if they were able to cast sooner and not cast and have them on the show immediately, there's probably a way for her to slim down a bit. I know if it was a movie, she would have, you know. And again, it's not for sexual appeal. It's not like, ooh, get slim so, you know, people can have the hots for a slim alpha. It's just, yeah, if they are eating like that, if they're living lean and whatever, then she'd be shedding the pounds. I know my brother, you know, he took a trip to Thailand and he shedded weight immediately. Was eating rice for a little. I mean, it was immediately, you know, so it probably would be similar. The on-screen dialogue between Alpha and Rick, it was still alive, would be so dope. Such a letdown. I do still miss Rick, absolutely. Somebody put a picture of Daryl and Alpha talking, and then Rick and Alpha talking, and I was like, oh my god, I miss that so much. Ian, do you think Daryl will fight Beta next episode? I think Henry definitely will. Daryl, either next episode or the episode after that for sure. Why didn't they get the baby back when they traded Lydia back? I get that she was going to let the baby die, but wouldn't she still want it back afterwards? Probably not. To be honest, that Whisper, she probably figured, you know, maybe this was like the second or third close call, or maybe she had 2 or 3 close calls before, and this was the final straw. That could have been what those looks were, and the Whisperer was probably like, you know, whatever. Plus, if that Whisperer is an Omega, or whatever they call the lower rung, she probably didn't have what it takes to stand up and demand or even do anything. So, no, I think that would have been a done deal. And Alpha, you think Alpha's going to give a shit? Alpha doesn't care. If she's going to let the walkers eat her, why does she care? Keep in mind, she's not there for her group. She's there for her daughter only. Holy crap, I fucked that up. She's only there for her daughter. Do you walk? I fucked that up. Whatever. Do walkers need to eat to live? No, they don't. The walkers trapped in a building seemingly years. Why don't they starve? Something I was wondering. No, walkers in this universe don't need to eat. I know people like the governor fed Penny Walker. They don't need to. No one needs to do that. That's just humans and how we think people need to eat, but that's not the case. Do you think the symbol was a hint to the Pike? It looked like a stick man without a head. Maybe it already happened to a different group. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. It looks like a table with fucked up legs, you know, or a stick man with a head, but I don't know. You got me on that. It could be. I really don't know. It could be either one, you know. Do you think the snow in the finale will carry over into next season unless they do a time skip? I think it's going to be difficult to carry the snow over for long. Keep in mind, if we just look at the filming schedule, when they start filming again, it's going to be hot. It's going to be the end of summer, right, when they film again? Or it's going to be summer. Yeah, it's going to be summer when they film again. There's no way. There's no way they're going to... Well, wait. I shouldn't say there's no way. I should say it's going to be very difficult. It's going to add to how difficult it is and more expensive, I feel. Why is Lydia the only child in the Whispers? I don't think she's the only child. She's the only child that we saw. We saw a baby. I'm sure we'll see more. Keep in mind, we didn't see any Whisperers except for Alpha and a baby. Everyone else was masked up. So I think that's a little unfair to say right now. The Alpha and Omega always eat first. Wait, I think I screwed that up though. The Alpha and Omega always eat first? I thought the Omega were the lowest of the low. See, keep in mind, it's not like biblical alpha and omega. Isn't that the one and the same? I am the alpha and the omega? Or am I messing that up? It's more along the lines of a pack, like a pack of wolves. You have the alpha, which is the leader, the strongest. You have the beta, which is the bitch, and then or follower. And then you have the omega, which is like the lowest of the low. Is that not what it is? I didn't do a lot of research because I just kept it as alpha, beta, bitch, done. You know? Do you think the symbol was a hint to the pike? It looked like... All right, we already read that one. Do you think the snow and... Oh, I already did that one too. Ronnie, puberty is a bitch in the zombie apocalypse. Yes, it is. Season 6-7 Daryl would have lit them the fug up. Alpha being a bit tubby makes sense because if she was the leader, she could be the first to eat and the first dibs. That could be a way to explain that, for sure. She can eat all she wants. She's the omega. She's never going to go hungry. In this sneak peek, Beta Man handles Henry after he tried to rescue Lydia. Nice. I think they're showing way too much, I'll be honest. Because keep in mind, they showed the end of this episode in a freebie. They showed it with the kingdom fighting and all that. They showed the beginning of the episode, and not the very, very end, but they showed a bunch of stuff. Just chill, AMC. Just chill. Just Nikki with a $5 dono. You didn't put anything down there, but thank you very much for the support. Hooking the channel up with that assistance. Spin 2020 with a $10 dono. Here's some cash. Now, don't you ever forget Carol's name again or else. I swear it was one of those moments where your brain says, you know this for sure, so I'm not going to work. You know, you ever have those moments where it's so obvious your brain says, I have no reason to work right now. You already know this without me working. Anyway, Kyle B with a $2 dono. Is it bad that I cracked up when Alpha smacked Lydia? Nope, not at all, man. I was like, yes! Yeah, spoiled little bitch. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do that. The surfing ginger with a $5 dono. How did the survivors cross into the Whisper's land if they're nomadic and constantly moving? Just confused me. Laughed my ass off. Good shit, Ronnie, and keep grinding. Yeah, I'm sure it's a constant move. It's not like they start at point A and then they move and never come back around, you know? So it's probably a constant move with the herd type flow. Again, same thing with Native Americans. I'm sure it's not as structured, though. Native Americans would, depending on the seasons, they would roam long areas of land. They would get to know the different areas of land. And again, depending on the seasons and the way herds move, the herds that they're hunting, the type of animals that they're hunting and shit like that. Yeah, it all varies. And again, we don't know. I'm guessing maybe we'll get a hint of how they move around, but they are mobile. It doesn't mean they don't ever come around to the same areas. They have their own grounds, you know, especially when it comes to hunting grounds. They would likely know, like, this is a good area for hunting. When they're in that area, they would go to those woods. Hence, it's their territory. They crossed into their lands. Who do you think would have the best chance against Beta in a fight? Fucking no one. Daryl said they have firepower, but we haven't seen guns in a long time. Was that bullshit? No, I think they do have some guns, for sure. I don't think it's anything, like, too crazy, but they definitely have some. Wait, let me see if I'm missing any here. Easy Gaming with a $2 dono. Ronnie, you look like Tara and Beta Baby. Tara and a Beta Baby. What does that mean? Like, that's a fucked up baby, bro. Thank you, though. I'll take it. Still rip Ken, never forget. I know, right? Never forget. They should name Ken, the baby Ken, too. Would I rather Ezekiel or Jerry be saved from the Pikes? Listen, I like Jerry. I do. But I'm going to have to pick Ezekiel saved. I just feel the actor has great charisma, and so does Jerry. Jerry's got but it's a different type. And since we're losing characters, there's a lot we need to bring in, and I feel like they're definitely great. Actors both have a lot of charisma, but Ezekiel, for me, has more of that visual flair. You know, he's got the dreads, he's got the long coat, he's got, well, he doesn't have Shiva anymore, but he has more of that visual flair to be a visually cool-looking protagonist moving forward, so... Would you? But I think both of them dying would hurt. Either one of them. If they die, I'm crying. Not really, but inside. Henry as a character is dumb as fuck. Any chance someone will take him out? Nah, no chance. Ronnie, looking good tonight? Well, thank you very much. Thank you, can't wait for Beta and Opie. Thank you, Just Nikki. I appreciate that. Someone told me I look like a Terra Beta baby. Michelle Pfeiffer just fell down. My Michelle Pfeiffer sex doll. My Michelle Pfeiffer NECA figure, my toy fell down. God damn. For real, though, Michelle Pfeiffer just... Oh! The penguin face planted, too. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That little fat fucker. You guys ever see the Danny DeVito penguin from NECA? Oh my god, that face. Oh, that's what nightmares are made of. Oh man, he's so creepy looking. Do I think Henry will die this season? Nah, it doesn't fit what they're building up. There was a part of Talking Dead where they talk about a scene with Lydia and Michonne. Thoughts on how they end up together? On how Lydia and Michonne ends up together? Well, once you start bringing the characters together, they're going to meet no matter what, especially when it comes to the Pike scene. Michonne should be there, Lydia should be there, Henry should be there, Daryl should be there, so that's how they'll likely be together. Ronnie, this was a 9 out of 10 for me. The music and suspense was great, plus Connie is a badass. Yeah, I really like Connie. I don't know what it is, man. Tonight I was getting the... what's a good word for that? I was really digging Connie tonight. She was doing good. Ronnie, what was your reaction to Jerry getting gum on King Ezekiel? I didn't really have a reaction. It wasn't, it's fun. It wasn't too over the top. I didn't mind it. I'm good. Check out Ronnie doing game live streams. I'll be donating a lot of money to do 24-hour live stream. Oh yeah, Aaron, chat, let's put him on blast. Aaron's going to donate $2,000 for a 24-hour live stream. Holler at Aaron in the chat. I'm blowing his spot up simply because I think he's trolling. If you're real, I don't mean to pick on you. I thought it was a troll. It's not a troll? Okay, I appreciate that, Aaron. Whenever you're ready. Kerry was on Talking Dead and his hair thus to me. He has hair thus to me. That means he is no longer actually on the show. He has hair. Wait, what? He's always had hair. What do you mean? Yeah, he has short hair. I don't get what you mean by that. Who's going to be the comic relief then? Tara? Where was Judith the whole episode? Judith is back at Alexandria. What are you talking about? We didn't even go to Alexandria this episode. What do you mean? What do you mean, bro? Ronnie, looking good tonight. Can't wait for... thank you very much. I must have read that one twice. I don't know how I made that mistake, to be honest. That was my bad. HBO pissed me off. I was hyped for a GOT Season 8 trailer, but instead we got a 5-second teaser. I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching any trailer. I'm going straight into it neck deep like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit about no trailer. I'm watching it regardless. I feel like Connie will be the one on the spike. Corey, how dare you? Vaccaro, get the fuck out of here. Connie's going to be on the spike? The only... Let me tell you. Let me tell you right now. The only stick Connie's going to be on... I forgot it's 2019. Okay? I'll just... Gets lost from Daryl and captured. I doubt it. Carol is just straight up boss. She's dangerous. Even Rick, who dropped the hunters, a bunch of saviors, were little kids. Respects Carol a lot. Trusts her to kick butt. Yeah, I like Carol. Alright, Ronnie. You like the addition of some of the characters saying next on before the episode? No, I don't like any of that. Seems kind of weird for the show. For this show, I don't like it. I don't think it works. I keep that shit with ABC shows and NBC shows and all that bullshit. I don't like that. I don't even like Michonne going, before the war, we were all together and then bad shit happened and then more good shit happened and then I'm fucking hot. I don't like any of that. Just shut up You know, just let some voice besides the cast do it. Easy Gaming with another $5 dono. Would it be hilarious if Clem and AJ heads were randomly on the spike? It would be great if those were Easter eggs for sure. Doing the Pike scene, sorry, no more random stuff. To be honest, if you really think about the comic, AJ was technically an Easter egg. I mean, you could pretend it because, what's his name, Josh? Looks kind of like AJ, so there you go. Ronnie, do you like the... Oh, I already did that. Thanks, Beta. Do you think Henry will die this season? No. A lot of people want Henry to die. There was a part in Talking Dead where they talk about a scene with Lydia and Michonne. How am I getting these questions again? Excuse me. Eugene could be making bullets for Alexandria, but if they aren't on good terms, how could they trade for bullets? Good point. Ronnie, this was a 9 out of 10 for me. The music, yeah, I'm getting them all over again. Ronnie, what was your reaction? Okay, yeah, I must have moved up somehow. Yeah, I did. I must have scrolled up accidentally. You want to go neck deep on Connie, bro? Shh. Doesn't matter. She won't hear me anyway. I just ended my career. What vape juice do you have? I don't know. Oh, it's right here. Nasty Juice ASAP Grape, and then there's another one called Devil Teeth with Honeydew. Do you think we will get the fight scene between Daryl and Beta next episode? I already answered that. One of them next, or the one after. The person who did the before the episode, yeah, the person who did the previously on died in real life. They could just hire a new guy, I think. Narrator died, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they could just hire. He's not the only one with a deep voice. They could just hire a new guy. I think that's better than having the cast do it. It just doesn't fit the show. And again, that's my preference. If you guys like it, then that's fine. You said earlier that the walkers don't starve, but didn't Dr. Edwin Jenner say they are starving over time? I don't know. Go back and watch it. In my opinion, unless there's other proof contrary to that, no, the walkers don't starve. They deteriorate. Yeah, we've already seen that in the video games, the comic, the show. We've seen walkers deteriorate and become part of a tree. We've seen walkers deteriorate and become part of a rose garden. But no, they don't like go hungry, unless that's, you know, what you would call that. You know, I don't think they go hungry. Do you think Henry will go neck deep? Yeah. On date number 2. Do you think the latter death from the comics will happen on the show, even though there was an Easter egg of it in Season 8? At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it, but I kind of feel like it might not be Gabriel. There's over 700 people watching Ronnie. That is disgusting. There should be 7,000. Where are y'all at? Could the symbol be a marker for the Whisperer's border that the kingdom entered and didn't even know it? I think it's possible. How would you like that 12-second clip of Daryl getting Dog to sniff the shirt mid-commercial break? The Walking Dead will return in 1 minute. Then it repeated the clip after commercials. It didn't do that for me. I don't know where the fuck you're at. No, it's for real. It didn't do that for me unless I didn't notice it. But I was watching that part. I didn't notice anything like that. Ronnie, I'm holding out hope that we get another great Walking Dead game in the future with a great, compelling story. Just my preference. Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of people are holding out hope for that. Jenner did say that, but he meant they slow down. Would Ezekiel death help push everyone to signing, especially if Ezekiel signs before his death and they see it? I mean, that could be an underlining theme to it, but I would have to say I disagree. The communities being at war with the Whisperers, a group that can wipe them out, one community after the other, is what should bring them together. It took something bad to happen for Michonne and some of the others to split and say, no, we're only taking care of our own. But what happens when a group, and again, this is perfect timing for what's happening in the story. What happens if a group shows up and the group is so big and so organized, utilizing walkers as their arsenal? That's their army, an army of walkers. They could just roll through each community. They don't have to worry about their army, their soldiers being tired, being hungry. They don't have to worry about feeding them. Oh my God, that's a mobile army they control. They could walk it right up to any community and they don't have to worry about shit. They could even put them around the community and simply starve out those inside. I mean, there's a whole number of things they can do. They can bring them up to the hilltop's walls, and then being completely surrounded, they can chip away at a wall. Sooner or later, they've got to make a move, or else the walkers will eventually pour in, breaking down walls. And it's just a matter of, take one community out and then the next and then the next. And since there's going to be a person who dies from every community, it's going to force them to come together. Maybe they sign it after that. Maybe they sign it before that. I don't know. But I think the whispers in the show is what's going to help bring the communities all together. Frowny McTwoKnives, not 4. Yeah, we just need to get Negan out and about, It was Milton who said that they starve, but on an extremely slower rate than the living. Yeah, I'll have to go back and rewatch some of his scenes and see what is that word for word what he says? They're starving but slow? I don't know. The scene at the movie theater where the walker breaks through the popcorn machine reminded me of a creep show. Well, here's the thing. Maybe I'm not hearing that right, or just, because humans starve and they die, right? They get waste away and die. When I think of a zombie starving, I don't know. I just don't see it being the same thing. Like, a zombie that eats is no different than a zombie that doesn't eat. I mean, they're not absorbing nutrients. They're not, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking it doesn't matter if a zombie eats or not. They're slowly rotting because whatever's in the virus, they already said, helps preserve them over time. I think now we're getting into the stuff that Kirkman is so afraid of, and now we know why. Because once you start dissecting and bringing a truth to the one thing that's so fake, it becomes tricky. Is it doing this or this? I say if you are cool with it starving, go ahead. Me personally, I'm good on it. Starve, don't starve, I really don't care. Episode 12 or 13 will hopefully show the Whisperer brutality. I'm hoping we see a little bit in every episode that has them in it. Do you think the man named William at the theater will be William from the comic? The first time I've seen him. You know what? He doesn't have to be. He could be, sure, but he doesn't have to be, because in the show they've done stuff like that. Remember Holly? So I think it's a flip of the coin right now. Is he? Isn't he? Yeah, as far as the Walker being a creep show Easter egg, I wouldn't be surprised, because I remember I used to have a poster of a skull head in the popcorn. Isn't that what it was? Oh my God, what was it? I used to have like this mini poster or something. It came out of like a VHS cassette thing, and it was the creep show thing, but I thought it was the coming soon sign or a popcorn thing, and it had the skull in it. Oh my God, now I'm going to look that up, because I could have sworn, maybe I'm thinking of something else. Oh my God, no, that's what it is. It's like a tarot card reader. Let me put that on the screen. You guys can see what I mean. See what I'm saying? It's a zombie in the admission booth for a movie theater. Not a zombie, but like a skeleton. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an Easter egg. It looks pretty close. They've had way too many dogs on the show, or Daryl's dog not be on the wall. Oh, I'm sorry. They've had way too many dogs on the show for Daryl's dog to not be on the wall. I'm sorry. I am adamantly against this. Not just killing a dog, but I think that's so silly. Imagine everyone's looking at people's heads and then they just see like the dog's head on a spike. Visually, I find that to be just so silly on the show. If the dog was the only one killed and Daryl shows up and his dog's head is on a spike, I would be like, oh man, that's tough. That hurts. I feel you. But just having humans, it'll be memed so bad where everyone else is sad for humans and Daryl's just crying over this dog. I don't know. I'm dreading the day. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do you think it's rather strange that Alexandria and the Hilltop haven't warned the kingdom about the whispers and Jesus' death? Yes. I'm going to give the show the same criticism that I did the comic. Well, hold on. Shit is just popping off on the show. But in the comic, if they continue doing what they're doing, in the comic, shit was popping off for a while and no one did anything. And I called bullshit because they should have runners. They should have messengers. You take your best rider, your fastest horse, write a message, you send them. Done. That should be standard practice by now in these communities. Having messengers. I'm sure this isn't the first time where they needed to get an urgent message to the other community, no matter what it is. So yes, if they don't incorporate that soon into the show, I'm going to criticize it for that. The show does have one good thing going for it, though, is they didn't need to do that before because the communities were kind of divided. So maybe that'll kind of spill into the reasoning why they don't already have something like that set up. Eric Cockrill, yo Hayes, Eric from Baltimore. I think and hope Beta's body's Henry. Thoughts on the trailer showing Beta capturing Henry's ass? We seen it a while ago in a still. No, it was in a trailer, but it was only really quick. He didn't pick him up in the first one, but Henry kind of threw a stick at Beta, and we knew it was coming. But yeah, I mean, it happened in the comic. My thoughts are it's the comic remix of it. Instead of Carl, it's Henry. I think it's going to be the same thing. We're going to learn more about the Whispers through Henry. Since Henry is new, it'll make sense why Alpha's explaining shit to him. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't make sense to explain it to a Whisper. They had the instinct to bite even with the heads cut off. The zombies on the post, yeah, they were still like... if Lydia does stay loyal to the Whispers, what do you think will happen since she knows about the tunneling? I think that could be one of the ways that they attack. Sure, anything Lydia knows that she tells her mom, I think it's going to be used in one of the attacks coming up in Season 10. The Pikes are the Walking Dead's version of the Red Wedding. Hell yeah, some people are dubbing it the Fair Massacre as well. From the trailer of 9/12, it looks like Alpha is forcing Lydia to kill Henry, but will she do it? We both know that's not going to happen. They wouldn't set up Henry's story to just dead it real quick like that, because keeping him and Lydia alive moves the story ahead further. Killing him right now literally destroys the story, the progression of the story. What do? Daryl goes home. Done. Game over. You know? I mean, other than revenge... But that's weaker than having Henry, who's driving the plot forward by wanting to rescue and help Lydia and drag her out of that situation. I think the trailers might be, fudging it a bit. I think they're going to pit Henry against one of the newcomers of the Whispers. They did show somebody who looked like a newcomer. So they're either pitting them together or someone did something and to punish them, they got to fight to the death, or maybe new people have to fight to show and prove that they can even be in the group. It could be a number of different things, but I don't think it's going to come down to Lydia killing Henry. Even if it does, something will mess that up because it doesn't make sense story-wise for either one of them to kill the other one at this point. Did you hear Ezekiel talk about not having to worry about death much? Foreshadow. Yep, we talked about that in my review. He's dead wrong. What characters do you think will step up after some major characters die to the pike? Well, I think as many as possible need to step up, but it all depends on who survives the pike. I think Connie is one that I would like to see step up, as well as Magna. If we look at Alexandria, I'm already rooting for Father Gabriel to take a bigger role. To forget his death in the comic, I think he should be pushed up as one of the mains, tweak his character a little bit. Excuse me. Strip him of the whole preach thing. Just get rid of that. Even if you want to keep it visually, I don't know, just, and flesh out his character a little more, break him out of his shell, and do something with him. Who else? That's from Alexandria. We have anyone from the Kingdom. I mean, we're utilizing Jerry or Ezekiel. I don't think both of them are going to die, so if it's one or the other. Anyone else there? We have Diane, but I do think Diane might be someone on the poll. As far as the Hilltop, who else up there? I think they're going to die. I don't know. I'd have to make a list of some, because I don't want to just pick people we know. I want to pick people I think really have a presence, like Connie. I think there's a lot of charisma there. Right now, my 2 picks are Connie and Gabriel. When did Jesus die, though? A day or 2 ago? Yeah, like 2-3 days ago. Is any mod a bot like Nightbot? No, we don't have any Nightbot mods. Ronnie, will Daryl's cat save the day? What? Will Daryl's cat save him during his scrap with Beta, or will Negan kill it? Yes, exactly. What was your reaction when Carol in present day mentioned Jesus? Shouldn't there be communication with the communities? Well, no. Here, guys, don't forget. The communities, even if there was communication, how do you want them to communicate with each other? Keep in mind, it takes, what? I don't know the math, but it takes a couple days to get to the Hilltop from the Kingdom. Let's say it takes 2 whole days. Jesus just died. Even if they sent a messenger, the messenger is still on its way. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I don't think the communication, I think it's unrealistic. And I'm the one who thinks they should have a messenger relaying important information. But no, it should probably take a few days for the messenger to get there. And that's because the shit happens with Jesus. He came back, a day went by, and then the Whisperers showed up. So even if a messenger left, the messenger still isn't getting there for a whole nother day. You know what I mean? And that's assuming it only takes 2 days. I forget exactly how many days. I know Alexandria is closer to the Hilltop than the Kingdom, so whatever the math is on that. Yeah, I'm not really falling for this Henry being a naive little bitch, though, I think they should do something different with that. Will Lydia tell them about the Kingdom and Henry yells at her? Also, why did Lydia slap Henry in the 9/12 trailer? Oh, I have no idea, brother. I have no idea. We saw a slap. That was it. I mean, I'd have to look through the trailer really good. That's all. A quick little slap. I mean, it could be anything. He could have said something out of line. Lydia probably needs to prove that she doesn't have feelings for him and this, that, and the third. I mean, I don't know. You're asking me to just predict something out of thin air here. If I was forced, gun to my head, like make an instant prediction, I would have to say that Henry says something stupid like, oh, she told me she doesn't want to be here. And then Lydia smacks him and then later tells her mom, oh, I said what I needed to get close to him, because we heard that in the trailer too. That's as good as it gets, bro. I really got to watch the trailer at least once more before I make any more predictions on it. Does Beta have a lisp in the preview? It looks like it, but he also has gold teeth. The actor asked for gold teeth for that character, so it's not like he has something in his mouth. And if you ever seen some thugs with some gold in their grill, you know they talk like fucking idiots. So they got this little lisp. What would you do if Connie, Luke, and Magna got the pike? I don't have to worry about that. There's no way they're doing that. Is there any other known whisperer other than... I like that. That's like saying... Some of these questions are frustrating. That's like saying, what would you do if they killed everyone on the show? Or what would you do if The Walking Dead stopped airing tomorrow? It's like none of that will happen. So why do I even need to mention what would I do? What would I do? I would stop watching The Walking Dead. What would I do if Connie, Luke, and Magna got the pike? I would continue to watch The Walking Dead. I don't know. I wouldn't do anything. I would review the episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, who gives a fuck? Is there any other known whisperers other than Beta, Alpha, Omega, Lydia, etc. from the comics? No, the comics is just Alpha, Beta, and Lydia. There's a couple others, but they're on the screen for like a panel and die, so they don't matter. But what do you think of Daryl, Connie duo going out to find Henry? A little strange since Connie has to communicate by writing, but know why she's going with Daryl. Well, I mean, they're hunting whisperers down, so I'm fine with that. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I like it, and as far as having to write stuff down, they're not going to be doing a whole lot of talking because they're undercover anyway, so you need a new video of who's getting piked? No. Why? You need nope, spin. I'll highly disagree with you there. I love you, but I gotta disagree. My video's still the same. If I did a new video, I would pick all the same people. You know, there might be like one that's switched around, but I haven't seen anything in the last couple episodes that has me like, oh my god, I'm changing it all. I think right now the only one I'm wobbly on is Ezekiel. I'm a little more, all right, fine. He's going to die. Before I wanted them to keep him around and kill someone else, but I think he's the only one I'm shaky on. Everyone else, I'm good with it. I'm good with that prediction. Ronnie, do you see Nebula dying because she had kids, although she's preggers, etc.? She's not pregnant. She had her kid. That was in the flashback that they said she was pregnant, but yeah, Jerry even was rocking his baby in tonight's episode at the end, but Nebula could be possible, sure, because again, it has to affect everyone in the community, so Nebula could be the one to die instead of Jerry or Ezekiel even. Amber Gray, hey Ronnie, looking good tonight. Like the hat. What are your thoughts on Carol and Ezekiel talking about moving the kingdom to the hilltop or a new location? I like it. I hope for the budget's sake they actually do that after whatever happens. Thank you very much for the compliment. I call this my old man hat. If you don't know, over the past few years, we've gotten a lot of pins and stuff, Walking Dead pins from different like boxes, surprise boxes and reviews, and I've always wanted to do something with them. I have my screenwriting book bag, and I've been putting some of the pins on that. But then I saw this hat at Target, and it was like $10, and I was like, oh man, it's gray, and it's like old man, I don't know, it's got that old man look. You ever see those old man hats that are kind of, I don't even know what they're called. They're like really short brims and they fold down like a golfer hat. My great-grandfather used to wear one of those, but I thought it'd be perfect. I could stick a pin in it, but I did it once or twice and I was like, the pin just doesn't sit right. So it's now my old man hat. I think it looks dumb, but it's comfortable as shit. It's probably one of the most comfortable hats I've ever worn in my life, so I'm keeping it. Even though it doesn't match my style or my clothes, ever. You know? I got some baggy-ass pants, walk around with a wife beater, and then I got my old man hat. I look like a ridiculous contradiction. Yorani. Shouldn't Ezekiel know about Jesus' death then if it's been 3 days? No. They didn't send a messenger, obviously. I mean, we'll know more as it plays out, but right now, no, they don't know. It doesn't even look like they have a messenger to send out. It looks like after whatever happens now, then they'll finally get around to sending a messenger. But I don't think right now with the communities and how it's set up, guys, I really don't think it's like this. Oh, something happened? Yo, send a message right away. It doesn't look like it's set up like that at all. I wish it was. I feel like it would be nice if it was. Rinaldi Calixti. Do I say your name right? What future Negan comic moment are you excited for? Future Negan comic moment. Well, there's a spoiler moment. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I wish it doesn't, or at least not that soon. I think the introduction with Beta is probably one of my more recent ones. Because there's something else I really am excited for, but that's not till season 10, and that's the fight with Beta. So that most likely, and I mean the big fight with Beta, that most likely won't happen until season 10. So, her sister is dead. Oh, spin. Who's dead? Wait, her sister. Whose sister? If the Pikes happen in episode 15, will the finale be boring, or will it be the aftermath and setup for next season? Aftermath and setup. No, just because we don't get deaths in episode 16 doesn't mean it's boring. Shane died in episode 15. I'm sorry, episode 12, and then the episode 13. It was 13 for season 2, right? Episode 13 wasn't boring. Did they make some mistakes? Yeah, sure. But it wasn't boring. It was a great setup for kicking the story off into being on the road again. Stormy, I'm excited to read this one because I was polishing a scene for something in Doomsday Kingdom, and this fits perfectly. Self plug here, doomsdaykingdom.com. It's our comic, by the way, if you're interested. We got digital and physical, signed copies, special, everything. We're working on issue 4 now, so that means issue 1, 2, and 3 are released. Stormy says sometimes people can get shot in the head and still walk around because it didn't hit anything vital. I like a walker that gets stabbed in the head but didn't go down. More tall zombs. Ah, your question kind of diverted. It was like, here's a statement, and then here's like a... I don't really know what your question is for the first one. But more tall zombies? I'm cool with more tall zombies. I'm cool with more, all different types of zombies. When it comes to the getting stabbed and shot and stuff like that, that's something that is present in Doomsday Kingdom. There's not every zombie that gets stabbed in the head that goes down right away. I was actually looking up some research to kind of help explain that and back that up about the brain and stuff like that. So if you get stabbed in a way and in an area where you might actually live from that, there's going to be moments where you might have to stab the zombie twice or once doesn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Again, that'll be polished by the time it's in the comic book. I'll have all the... Because I researched the brain and I have all the tabs bookmarked and saved so I can go and do the reading research and whatnot. But that's going to be something that I can't wait to put into Doomsday Kingdom, because you are right. There's people that get, shot and the bullet just happens to go in the skull and travels around and then out, but it doesn't actually damage shit. But I think with the TV show, they just don't want to deal with any explanation. You stab a zombie in the head and it dies. You stab another one in the head and it's like, and then you stab it again and it dies. I think most stupid viewers, or viewers that don't want to think about anything, don't want to take a minute to think, most viewers like that will just be like so lost. And unfortunately, that's something that you do have to deal with when you're dealing with a mass audience, Imagine a NECA beta. Oh my god, that'd be awesome. Oh, I don't know if I said thank you, but thank you very much, Ronaldi Calixti, for the dono to the channel. Ronnie, why does everyone want to see Beta fight Daryl or Negan? Excuse me, what about Jerry? It's a fair match in my opinion. Just because Jerry doesn't have that, badass vibe to him, that fighter killing vibe. I know, he's got the axe and the sword and he's a warrior, but it just doesn't have that same vibe. And I'm just guessing. I don't know why people don't bring up Jerry. Plus, he's just not as main of a character as Daryl and Negan. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Do you think that The Walking Dead will explore a baby dying in the womb like Rosita? No, I think that's a terrible idea. Babies in the womb don't normally have teeth. And most likely if a baby died and turned into a zombie in the womb, it's just a silly idea for the type of show The Walking Dead is. It takes pride in being grounded in realism. That's something for a show that would be a little different, maybe a little more out there or a little more loose with what they do. I think it's a terrifying thought. I think it's absolutely a terrifying thought, but I just don't think it works in a lot of ways just because it is a bit silly. Ronnie, what if the baby was fed to the walkers instead of what we got tonight? Too much for you? Question mark. I don't know. I was well. It does make sense for the dark arc. I thought the baby was a goner, and I thought it was going to get pretty dark. I was like, oh shit, they went dark with it. But, and again, I mean, what if it happened? Well, it happened. You know, I wouldn't be complaining about it. It is what it is. I'm good with dark shit. Do you like that Beta has gold teeth? It depends. It depends. We'll have to see when it comes out. Do you think we need The Walking Dead to get darker? Yeah, I'm fine with it. Darker when it needs to be. Absolutely, I support that. Tara's sister, Lily, is dead. Oh yeah, she's dead. She's dead. I wonder if Beta with Henry is the first time we see him. I honestly thought Daryl would be the first encounter. Nah, it should be Henry. Probably should be Henry. He left first. He's likely to run into them first. So, Alpha, Savage, a real woman. Slizzle, yeah. Did it seem Tara had a little to no power or influence this episode? Yeah, pretty much. Daryl took right over. What are you going to do? Jeff, 1990, with a $2 dono or $3 dono. Hey, Ronnie, with more hints of the X scar. Any ideas? Nope. I'm sticking with the same old idea that I had originally. You know what? I am leaning more towards, yeah, sure, it's probably a community or something came in and they went to help them and it blew up, or it is still connected to what happened with Rick and the communities, like the Saviors and stuff like that. So, but no new like revelation of what it could be. Aaron Bennett, do you think Alpha will show Mega Herd like she does in the comics? Love the channel, keep killing it. Shout out, okay, baby. Yeah, thank you very much for the support. Do I think Alpha will show the Mega Herd? Absolutely. It should be this season, too. Thank you very much for the dono, Jeff, by the way. The Surf and Ginger, is that you? Yep. Should we even expect Alexandrians on the pike? I think they will, but Michonne has no interest in helping out or going to the fair. How will they get involved? Well, we don't know what brings them together at this point to go to the fair, but it's important that they do go to the fair because that's going to be the moment where all of them, someone from every community gets injured. Imagine the story they set up right now and no one from Alexandria dies. Imagine that. It literally helps Michonne to stay out of the beef. I think that is so wrong. There's no way they're doing that. There's just no way. So somebody from Alexandria has to die. Alexandria needs to be in trouble. It doesn't make any sense. Unless they want to go overboard and have Michonne look at all the communities dealing with something that can wipe them out, and it finally snaps and she just can't take it anymore and she has to help. She can't see her friends be wiped out by this group. That's something, but I really feel like it needs to be someone from every community. I feel sad that the baby will live for an eternity as a walker. If that's the case, well, it won't be that long. It would probably be a good few number of years, you know. Hey, Ronnie, have you heard the zombie deer disease? Yep, I heard about that. Is it 24 states now? What is this? Deer disease. Zombie deer disease. Spreading closer to Wichita 15 hours ago. Chronic wasting disease continues to spread among PA deer. Oh, that's in PA. The CDC issued a warning. Let's see what it's about. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has issued a warning about zombie deer disease that impacts deer, elk, and moose. It's also known as the chronic wasting disease. It has not been found in New York since 2005. New York successfully stopped the disease from spreading in the state with a rapid response plan. Vigorous controls. Okay. Well, what does it do? It could take more than a year before an infected animal develops symptoms, which can include drastic weight loss, wasting, stumbling, listlessness, and other Neurological symptoms. CWD can affect animals of all ages. Some affected animals may die without ever developing disease. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Because a long time it takes before any symptoms can appear, scientists expect the study to take many years before they determine what the risk, if any, the CDW is to people. Yeah, I mean, creepy shit, bro. I don't think it's gonna, turn into human zombies, but it's creepy shit nonetheless. Surfing Ginger. Oh, I already did that one. We got Jeff 1990 with another $20 dono. Loved your Resident Evil 2 run with Claire. Want to share some support for a great channel. Keep up the great content and look forward to more. Thank you very much. I appreciate that support to the channel. And if anyone is new here, we are doing frequent gameplays. So far, we've been doing one just about every single day, give or take. We will be ramping up and then ramping down depending on what's out. Shifting to certain videos that are not gameplays, obviously, but then when we do have games that are out that we want to play, there will be like a high concentration of them on this channel and the companion channel. Right now, we got a lot coming up on this channel because they're the new games, zombie games, post-apocalyptic games. Those will all be here. Anything outside of that will be on the companion channel, like older games and other non-horror, zombie, or post-apocalyptic games will also be on the other channel. I was thinking about checking out Far Cry, too. That looked pretty neat. Metro's one we're doing now, Metro Exodus, which there's something to it where I do want to give it another chance. I do want to play along and just give it another chance. It has some gameplay elements that get a bit clunky, though, but I do love the world and how it looks, and I do want to give it a shot, but yeah, it does have far too much talking. What was I looking up? Oh, there we go. Alright, there we are. But thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate that. It absolutely helps to keep the streams going. Actually, speaking of support, hold on. Somebody did I think while The Walking Dead was airing, somebody sent over a direct PayPal donation. I think we got 2 of them now. Someone put rude. Oh, they're canceling The Punisher. Rude. Oh, is anyone watching True Detective? I got 2 TV show recommendations. Tonight is the season finale of True Detective Season 3. I think all 3 are worth a watch. 1 is really good. 3 is also really good. 2 is a little bit meh. However, Narcos is awesome. They got Narcos seasons 1, 2, and 3, and then I just realized they made another Narcos season 1, and I was like, wait, what? They already did Narcos season 1. But this is like Narcos Mexico, and I just finished it, and holy shit, is it fucking good, It is good. Anyhow, you know who's in it? Diego Luna. I think that's his name. He was the dude in Rogue One, Star Wars Rogue One. That really shit character in Rogue One. And holy shit, is he a lot better in this. Now, he's really a really held back gangster that doesn't really show much, like a drug dealer. And holy shit, he's so much better in this than he was in Rogue One. But that character sucked. Anyway, we have Chris Taus with another $5 direct PayPal support for the channel to help keep it running, which, again, this is absolutely vital and important, and I appreciate it so much, the direct to PayPal and the Super Chat support, especially since we got so many videos with the gaming ones. Every single gaming video was hit with a copyright claim of some sort. It's usually the music, so that means none of them make any money on the channel at all to help keep the channel going. But Armando Flores with a $5 dono, I think that came in during the episode of The Walking Dead. What is this? Is this wait, I might have messed that up. I think that's an order for, yeah, that's an order for Doomsday Kingdom, but Armando, I appreciate that. Wait, did I read that wrong? Yeah, so thank you very much. And any other links to any channels or support links, you can all find those in the video description below. If you want to check out the companion channel or anything, we have everything you can imagine that's linked to this, to the Matt family down in the video description. Do you think Beta will be better as a right-hand man than Simon was for Negan? More loyally speaking, yeah, absolutely. Would you go on The Walking Dead if they asked you as what, like a zombie? I'd go as a zombie. I would turn it down as an actor. I'll be honest with you. I think, well, actually, let's say I was like a fan-fucking-tastic actor and you guys all knew it, right? Let's just pretend. I would have to turn it down simply because for those watching, you guys see me and talk to me every Sunday and all week, and you know we've been doing this for years. When you see someone in that light, it's so hard to break the immersion and see them as that character in that way. So, and with it being The Walking Dead, I would have to just turn it down. Now a zombie, fucking call me, you know, like that would be the shit. But yeah, I would have to say a nope on that. I don't think the immersion, it wouldn't be a good fit. You think Beta will be better? Oh, I already read that one. Son of a bitch. Hey Ronnie, I'm drawing a neck-deep walker. Where can I post it when I'm done? That you'll see it. Instagram, Facebook, somewhere around there. Twitter. How would you feel if Clementine was a whisperer? I would hate it. Do you think it's likely that Daryl already knows a bit of sign language to communicate with Connie since he needed to be quiet while hunting and talking to his bro and family? No, I hunted and I don't know any sign language. It just doesn't work like that. Especially with his type of family, I don't think they're slick enough to do sign language. You could do certain things, but simpleton things that aren't, you know, official sign language. So even still, she wouldn't know what the hell it was. Anyone will hate Henry for everything because of the heads on pikes. Will be his fault. What do you think the writers can do to get the fans to like Henry if possible? Number one thing, the heads on pikes cannot be his fault. It has to be something outside of that. I know in the comic it was, you would have fans saying it was Carl's fault and then some saying not. But I remember me specifically, the one thing Alpha says where I feel like it wasn't Carl's fault is she actually makes the one comment. I gotta go and find the exact comment. But she eventually makes the comment, it was going to happen anyway. Like, no matter what, it was going to happen. And I was like, damn. Like, I love that idea that Alpha says there's going to be no conflict, but she already knows in her head, it's going to happen. It's just the size is what she was sizing up, you know? But we'll see. I got to find those. I gotta reread the comic. Maybe it is all Carl's fault, 100%. I don't know. I saw it as it was gonna happen regardless of what Carl did. Lab tests have shown that deer disease can spread to human genes. It can spread through feces, blood, and saliva. No human report so far. Did you see the next time on The Walking Dead? If so, what do you think about Beta's voice? I like it. I like it. I want to see more, obviously. One sentence, it's cool to get me hyped, but I want to see more to really know. Same thing with Alpha. You know, I thought I liked it, but in this episode, it took me till now to be like, okay, for sure, I like it. Remember, at Make a Path Presents, if you want to send a comment directly to me to be read out, because there's so many comments, it's hard to read everyone and determine who's talking to someone else in the chat. And again, I love when you guys talk to each other in the chat, so it just makes it a lot easier for me to scroll down and look at the highlighted at Megapath Presents. You guys can see it too. See what I mean? It's highlighted. So if look at all these people, they're talking to everyone else in the chat. So if I had to sit here and read through all this to see who's talking to who, it takes even longer. I like Rogue One, and they're making a spin-off of Diego's character, which was a bad decision in my opinion. I hated Rogue One. Rogue One was a terrible disaster. When I came out of the theater, I was so pumped out of the last, off of the last, 2 or 3 minutes of Vader. Fan service or not, I don't give a shit. We got to see why Vader was feared, you know, and I loved every second of it. But I really felt like they just completely dropped the ball when it came to Rogue One. Shitty lead, just shitty story. Me personally, as a Star Wars fan, it didn't do anything for me. Lab tests, I already read that. Did you see? I already read that one too. Dylan Patrick, if they deteriorate, don't you think after 10 plus years there would be barely any walkers left? Well, no, because then we wouldn't have a show, and eventually you're just going to have to let it go and suspend disbelief. But the idea is that, yeah, sure, let's give it. Some will deteriorate into nothing. We've seen it already on the show. But there's just so many being made new and so many out there. Let's just pretend that there's always a supply of zombies, you know? I know this community fights tooth and nail for a cure for zombies to die off. And I don't know why, because I want the story to keep going. But if we get a cure and if zombies just die off, it's like zombies are so fun. Why are we looking for ways to get rid of them? You know what I'm saying? So maybe I'm coming from a place of bias, because the last thing I want to do is come up with reasons for zombies to not exist in a zombie show. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'll admit that. I'm probably biased on that front. We're going to be wrapping it up here in a few minutes, though, so if you want to get any last-minute questions in, let me know now. Which character has the best chance to go neck deep this season? I think they all got a good chance to go neck deep, but if anyone, it's Beta. For sure. Do the creeps in Doomsday Kingdom turn after they die as well? Let's say yes, but with an asterisk. I can't really tell you unless it's straight spoiling it, so you're gonna have to read it. But I'm fine with you going into it thinking, yes, it's the same thing. You die, you turn. You get bit, you turn. You know, go into it like that, and you're fine. But I will warn people. Please do not go into Doomsday Kingdom thinking it's the same type of zombies as The Walking Dead, because something's going to happen and you're going to be like, oh, well, shit, why is that happening? That's not supposed to happen. You know what I mean? Because there's a couple things that are very different. There's one thing in particular that is completely different than what you see in The Walking Dead and what you see in a lot of zombie movies. It's one of the things that I changed that I've always wanted to see change, that no one has ever played around with, and I'm really excited. And don't worry, you don't have to wait long. We're starting in issue 4 with that thing coming up, and there's a big moment in issue 4. You'll see. Have you ever seen Prison Break? Yes, loved it. Some of it, most of it. I was a bit confused on Henry and Daryl's interaction. What do you think the reason was for the scars? I don't have any reason right now. I'm sticking with it's an honor mark, you know, that's as best I got it. It's probably not the case. I just don't see any other reason why they're going to burn themselves. I just don't get it. Have you been... But Daryl's scars on his upper back, don't be confused. I've seen some people making videos saying that those are connected to... Those scars were always there. Go back and watch. Matter of fact, here, tell you what, I'll do this. We'll talk about it right now, because I did a video about the scars on their backs and I never made it. So I have the pictures sitting here. I'll show you the pictures. You can see the pictures. All right, let me get rid of my webcam, and then I'll bring the pictures up. This is Daryl's back. This scar is new. This, you guys can see it's a little dark on there. This and this, these are old. We saw these in season 3. Those are old scars. Where's the image from season 3? Oh, crap. I don't think I got it. You're just going to have to take my word for it. I had it. Where the hell did it go? Really? Yeah, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Maybe I'll just post a shorter video, because yeah, apparently I don't have it. I think here's those 3. Yeah, I don't have it. I thought I had it. I did have it before. Where would they go? I don't know. If you go back to season 3 when Daryl and Merle are fighting, Merle rips his shirt off and you can see all those scars are there. The only new one is the X. You can either trust me, because that is real, or just go back to season 3 and watch when Daryl rips his shirt off. I hope they make a Vader film trilogy. I'm done with... I was a Star Wars fan. Still want the beautiful shit. Wait, I, as a Star Wars fan, still want that beautiful shit. Oh, I'm all done with that. I just don't feel like they'll do it any justice. I hope they do. Have you been watching Umbrella Academy lately? No. No. It is on my to-watch list, but I had to watch Narcos. Do you think the Whisperers eat walkers or have ever tried to? No, not at all. Not at all. I don't even think they tried. Yeah, Henry, I want to get laid now. It's just not fair. If a walker scratches you, what would happen? In the world of The Walking Dead, that gets a little tricky. Because we've never seen anyone get scratched and die from it. So you can't say for sure one way or the other. I know Tiny got scratched, or they said it's just a scratch, but we never gave him any time. The one guy just kills him, you know? So I would have to think, if a walker scratched you and you put alcohol on it and kept it clean, I don't think it's the same as the mouth. I'm going to say at this time, I think you'll live if a walker scratches you. But the characters do seem to think it will kill you the same. I don't know. I was just saying how awesome the scene was where Jerry stabbed the walker under the jaw and the sword. Yo, my daughter walked into the room and she was like, I love that. Could it be seen through the mouth? Reminded me of your comic. Yeah, we got a scene. For those new, we got a scene in the comic where the one character stabs a zombie, but the sword's not big enough, so it doesn't pierce the brain. And then after he stabs him, you can see the zombie opens his mouth and the knife's right there going through his mouth. But yeah, that was badass. My daughter walked into the room and noticed that moment. She was like, oh shit, that was cool. Well, she didn't say shit. She said, oh fuck. I think that Henry will lead the Whisperers next episode to the kingdom, and the cliffhanger will be Alpha with her finger up saying, shh. Wow, I don't think that at all. That's a rough one. He'd be enemy number 1 for sure. Why would they come to the kingdom, though? Just to spy, you think? Say what you want. I respect your opinion about Star Wars for sure. I understand that The Last Jedi wasn't for everyone's tastes. I love you all too. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate you because you love it. I think I agree. I think it's ridiculous in the online community. It's like that though. Like if you like something and someone hates it, you're enemies, no matter what. That's so weird, and stupid. Now, if people are like, oh, well, you hate it? Well, you suck, then okay, yeah, fuck it, you're not friends, you know what I mean? But people who just automatically think you shouldn't get along, but that has been on the internet for years, even before Star Wars and Social Justice Warrior crap blew up. That type of mentality has been on the internet for a long time for some reason. I mean, a long time. It wasn't as intense. It's getting bigger and bigger every year. If you think something different, like the normal society works like this. I think abortion is this. I think abortion is that. Oh, we hate each other. But, I'm sorry, normal society is this. I believe in this stance on abortion. Well, I think this because of this, this, and this. All right, well, we do this and this. All right, well, this, and this. The internet is like this. I believe this about abortion. I believe this about abortion. I will fucking kill you. It's like, whoa, really, bro? Okay. What was the red spray painting on the wall? Sorry if you already mentioned it. We don't know right now. We just think it's some type of sign. I'm just happy it's not an A. It's not a letter A. I'm glad Lydia isn't blonde in the show. Like brunettes myself. I like blondes, but I really don't matter because she's too young for me to be like googly eye anyway. Gosh, I need to write... I need to try writing a zombie apocalypse series. Love that shit. just start with a story. That's what I did. Start with something little type of story, something that's, contained. Have fun with it. I just can't get over how everyone hasn't made decent arm and leg armor, not hockey vests. Yeah, that's one thing that you guys already seen with Doomsday Kingdom. Matter of fact, yeah, right off the bat, this is one of the beat up copies for issue number 1. Our characters get that early on. One of the main characters, Ryder, is presented with this. Oh, you know what? I love this image of him right here. Presented with this armor. Leather, rawhide leather armor. See him right there? Bam. And then we got the prisoner on the feeding post. And if you're new here, the hero ties the prisoner up to a feeding post. It's a post in the ground. And the whole concept is they tie someone to him, handcuffs and all that. And then zombies come out and you get eaten alive. That's your punishment. Fucking badass. Anyway. I would like to see more of a surviving vibe, hunting through cities, shops and stores, no human threats. The show might be slow, but I feel like things are so convenient. Yeah, I mean, I'm good because, like I said, there's a huge part of like my comic that's already doing it. So when they venture into those areas, I get like, oh no, because there's so much you want to do and you don't want them to overlap. So that's why, like, there's parts of the story that I tweaked or changed out because I don't want them similar to The Walking Dead. So as long as The Walking Dead doesn't do stuff like that, because we have stuff like that. We have people scavenging cities and stuff. There's a whole storyline set up. We already set it up in issue 2. Actually, first page of issue 2, if you flip, and I'm saying this as a zombie fan, if you flip to first page of issue 2, there's a hint of a city, and this guy especially. And there's that aspect of scavenging cities and bringing it back to wherever. So, yeah, I want the same thing. I wouldn't mind, I don't need it all in one zombie franchise. Like, there's so many other zombie movies and stories to come out. I don't need it. I don't need Walking Dead to do it all. Because they got a lot on their plate right now. I think splitting a story would make it a little rocky. Coming up, though, there's definitely room for the Commonwealth storyline. Would you make a TV show of your comic book? Well, absolutely everyone would. The only problem is that would be such a beautiful dream, but the only thing is it's almost likely not going to happen right now, especially with The Walking Dead tanking and ratings. You don't understand how much, like if The Walking Dead was top of the game, 17 million, I guarantee you if the comic was blowing up, you'd have a really good chance of at least getting a meeting. Now, I'm telling you what, Hollywood is probably back to saying, no. You know what I mean? That's just the business. Because they don't see that as The Walking Dead's writing falling off and their choices causing fans to get sick of the repetition or story writing or the dialogue or the characters or fan favorites being killed off. They don't take that into consideration. Hollywood goes like this. Are zombies doing good? Yes? Okay, let's make zombies. Are zombies doing bad? Oh, they're doing bad? No more zombies. Like, that's as intelligent as Hollywood gets when it comes to picking what's doing good. Superheroes. Are they doing good? Yes, let's make superheroes. You know, the moment all of them bomb 1 year, all superhero movies bomb, you know what Hollywood's going to do? Let's stop making superhero movies, you know? So they don't take into consideration if something's done well. Anyway, too many human threats. Yeah, I would like to deviate from that a little bit. Ronnie, remember Abraham got cut by the same knife Sasha was using to kill walkers. He didn't turn them. He didn't turn. There was another time when Rick, but I can't remember the situation. Yeah, there was a number of times Rick pulled the knife out at the walker, cut himself, whoop-de-whoop. We've did videos covering all about that and discussing about that. It would be easier for them to just not do those scenes, let's be honest. For Sasha's, though, the knife barely had any blood or gunk or anything. I mean, it's pretty much like a clean knife. I get it, germs, you don't see it, but the big difference is the saviors are putting the muck all over it. So when you're getting cut or poked or stabbed or scraped, you're getting all that gunk in it. You know what I mean? I think that's how they see it. Gunk versus no gunk. Even though, germs, you can't even see them. Did you notice the miniature sculptures similar to Josh from the comic in Alden's room? No, I didn't. I noticed some weird little thing, but maybe that's what they were going for. It looked like a weird little clock, but Daryl and Connie should be an item. I think the way they look together, Daryl needs some real, though. Oh, yeah, sure, fucking get it in, bro, but I don't want them to hook up just to have Daryl hooking up, but go for it. Do you think Jerry's death was foreshadowed tonight? I think it's absolutely possible, but a lot of them could have been. Is your comic about a zombie apocalypse like The Walking Dead? It is a zombie apocalypse, absolutely. It's hard to... Here's where it gets to be like The Walking Dead or not, because all zombie apocalypse stories are the same. Outbreak, downfall of society, there you go, panic, and then they move ahead. However, the idea, once you get past the downfall and panic, the world of Doomsday Kingdom and The Walking Dead are as different as night and day. In The Walking Dead, outbreak, everything crumbles, and you have survivors just traveling around. This doesn't happen that way. Essentially, you'll have one state, let's just say Pennsylvania, and again, this is a real general example just to give you an idea. Pennsylvania goes down, virus, yada, yada, yada. It's sectioned off. That you are seeing the story from the perspective of people inside that zone that has been affected and quarantined off. So essentially that part of the United States is the rotten core. And that's what they call the Doomsday Kingdom. Because Doomsday is obviously Doomsday. I don't have to define what Doomsday means. It's the Doomsday. And that little area went through its Doomsday, and it wasn't worldwide. So that's what they considered the Doomsday Kingdom on the inside. So you'll get a view of the people in that zone and then the people out in the world, and some threats that may come from the Doomsday Kingdom and spread outwards as like the virus, spreading bigger in the USA. I am surprised. And again, that's like a tricky, as spoiler-free as I can get, breakdown of what the world would be like and how it's different in that story versus what we have in The Walking Dead. But that's only containing the first few volumes. After that, there are definitely big differences. I'm surprised by a huge amount of Whisperers do not jump ship and try to join one of the other communities, especially after that baby shit. I would. Worms or apples. You know what? The Whisperers probably saw Alpha in them defeat and destroy, according to Lydia, everyone they've come across. So if you're in a group and you've seen them literally wipe out everyone they've come across, most likely, yeah, they're probably thinking, if I join that group, they're going to kill us next, Ronnie, I hope the Commonwealth arc gets better in the comic to get us excited for the show version. I just haven't liked an issue. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it. Godzilla, I guess you liked Trip enough to continue to say his greatest quote? Absolutely. I mean, I don't know. Hold on now. His quote was just so ridiculous. I love the one quote. It doesn't mean I'm like a Trip fanatic, I just love his one quote. I think they really screwed up Trip as a character from the video game. They had so much to build on, but then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, here's a big tough white guy, let's turn him into an absolute bitch, and it's like, oh, come on. So no, I don't like his character. I think his character was very poorly written. His character was uncharacteristically spastic when it came to what he was and what he stood for, but I did like certain aspects of his character in the beginning and then a little bit at the end, and I love his quote. How long do you think you would last in a zombie apocalypse? Realistically, 5 days. I mean, come on. We're all a little too pampered with modern technology. We'd all probably just end it after a few days. We talk tough, but come on. Would you say that this episode was about people, kids, and babies? People's kids and babies? I wouldn't say that about this episode. I mean, it's a little part of it, but I wouldn't say it highlighted the whole episode. How difficult was it to write your comic without letting The Walking Dead influence your ideas too much. Actually, there's parts of it that are really easy. You know what the difficult part is? Having something that you fucking love, and then The Walking Dead comes out with something that is really similar, and you have to cut it out of your story. Keep in mind, for this new to my comic, I talked about the in my story there was a wooded area. The entrance of the woods had heads on sticks, and it said, "Do not enter. If the dead don't get you, we will." And that was the border that actually had heads on sticks. You could go watch the video. It was put up way before the Whispers in the Walking Dead comic, before the border had, I think, 9 months before it was in the comic. And there was no way you could have predicted that. No way at all. Because in the comic, it was out of nowhere. There was no, prep, no foreshadowing. It was just there. So I talked about how there's a certain aspect of my story that has people that utilize a certain type of camouflage, and we were just getting introduced to the Whispers, and this is right when I first talked about my story. That was one of the hardest parts. Once we got to a certain aspect, having to remix and cut that out, because people will not believe me. I mean, you guys who were there, the video's up right now, so anyone right here can go back and look and say, oh my god, he said it first, so similar to how it was in the comic. That's fine. But the masses out there outside of the channel, they'll never believe that. From the time they read it, if I keep it the same in the story, to whenever, they'll always believe that I just copied it. And you don't want that. You can't have that. For my comic to succeed, it needs to succeed on its own, different than The Walking Dead. We don't want a Walking Dead copy. We want someone a fan of the zombie genre to create something new and unique and refreshing. That's why in episode 2, you hear what you perceive as a zombie speak. And again, it's not a smart zombie. It's not an involved zombie. It's not an intelligent zombie. There's stages. So it's in a way, there's similarities to The Last of Us by how you have different zones. There's similarities to Resident Evil in certain